Hey, it's Meatball.
And Mark.
And this is the Rocker Morning Show on demand from 107.7 RKR. Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR. It is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Franka.
Sorry, I don't know why my voice did that. I was just like, my voice was just moving in that direction. I was like, all right, we're going to roll with this.
Okay, yeah. Meatball doing his Barry White.
It's the Eclipse, I swear.
Yeah, it's got to be.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm living.
Yeah, man.
I'm living via coffee right now.
Long
that
weekend?
Is, yes, very weekendish.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So, but it was a late night for me last night. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yep.
Because it was a fun one. It was worth the lack of sleep. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But we got big things happening today.
Yes, man. Today is the Eclipse Day.
We're actually going to have like decent weather. Like we can experience it.
Yeah,
clouds.
This is what's hilarious is like Southwest Michigan is actually going to have, it seems like, clear skies all day today.
Great.
Except we're not in totality. The entire path of where the eclipse is going shows cloud cover during the eclipse. So like all these millions of people. Then
technically we have the more totality.
See?
Just saying, I know it'll get dark for them, but they won't be able to experience it.
Right. But yeah, it's all these millions of people that have driven and, soaked up every $3,000 a night Airbnb in the path of this thing are just going to be staring at clouds that get darker and then get lighter again.
Oh, man. I don't even have glasses yet. I got to go to like Menards.
Oh, you don't? Hold on. I got you.
What? No way.
Yeah, man. Do you want orange or green?
Oh, man, I'll do orange.
Okay, check these out.
That's awesome.
Look at these, man. What? Reflective and everything. Those are cool as hell, right?
Meatball just busted out some Macho Man glasses that you can look at the eclipse with.
Look at the sun, brother. They're cool as hell, right?
These are awesome.
Yeah. My folks came up. We were talking about the eclipse. They're going to the eclipse in Indiana today. We had fun with them this weekend. It was a good time.
That's great.
It's so funny. We had some fun. It was nice and relaxed. We got a lot of food, a lot of drink, all good stuff. But one of my favorite things we did is we went out to South Haven. Oh, those look sharp on you, brother.
I look like Cyclops.
We'll take some photos and post them on the socials later because they look amazing. But I was like, well, I haven't been out to South Haven yet to see Lake Michigan from the Michigan side. So I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
So we went out out there to the lighthouse, and it was a nice day yesterday. It was in like the upper 40s when we got out there,
Yeah.
So we're walking out, on the pier or whatever to get to the lighthouse. I'm walking in a light jacket. I got my sunglasses on and a ball cap. I'm feeling good. I look behind me. My dad is wearing 2 layers. He's got his hood pulled up, a beanie cap on, and his gloves, and is absolutely freezing.
Oh, my God.
And my mom is wearing 3 layers of clothes with 2 hoods up on her head, just bundled up in this, like, knee-length coat, puffy coat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you guys cold? And they're like, it's freezing out here.
Just, they weren't ready. They left that Florida weather, and they got to Michigan.
They live in Florida for 8 months, and suddenly, like,
they forget how to winter.
Right. Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR. It is the Rock Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
So the solar eclipse going to be kicking off today. 1:54 is the official start of the eclipse for us here in Kalamazoo. And we will be seeing a 95% totality, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it's pretty much right there, man. Yeah. I mean, it's only got to be a little bit of a sliver that we're not getting.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it, man. It'll be fun.
The only thing I've been told is like, people who are going to see it in totality, assuming that they're in an area that doesn't get, cloud cover or whatever, is when you do see it, like you get to see a part of the sun that you don't normally get to see, which is the corona around it. It's like the next level of the atmosphere of the sun, and it's going to be cool colors and whatnot, depending on what you're looking through. So, I mean, it's going to be cool. And in fact, I think we have a couple employees here in the building that are going to drive down to either Ohio or Indiana today.
Really?
To go see it. I think Lauren Gordon, is going to go down and see it, in Indiana. And then our own boss, Mary, is going to go to Ohio.
That's funny.
Yeah. But we're going to be 95% here. which is great. Clear skies in Michigan to see a celestial event like this. You're going to see, the majority of it. Like that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Easily.
But if you're really that hell-bent on seeing it in totality but not leaving Southwest Michigan, you are going to have another opportunity.
That's good.
Yep. It's going to be in September, 2099.
So you won't, but you're...
Speak for yourself, man. Medical advances by then could be amazing. You don't know.
I hope I don't know.
I want to be I want to be a head in a jar like in Futurama.
No. No, I do not want to be 113 years old looking at the eclipse. Because if I am 113 years old and I want this, to go on record, if I'm 113 years old and there's an eclipse, I'll take one for the team. We can bring back human sacrifice so that we appease the sun god.
The 2099 eclipse. So, kids born today might live old enough, to see it. That's still a possibility. It will be a complete totality eclipse. In fact, Kalamazoo is literally right in the middle of the path they're predicting.
Damn.
For 2099, which is really, really cool. Even more crazy for that one is that there are two cities, including one here in Michigan, that have not seen totality for a very, 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 very long time. Madison, Wisconsin hasn't seen a total eclipse since 1379.
Wow.
And Grand Rapids, Michigan, or at least where Grand Rapids is, has not seen a total eclipse since April 18th, 1558.
Yeah, that was a long freaking time ago.
So for those of you who would still be alive in the Grand Rapids area, Kalamazoo, obviously, this will be the first time that an eclipse has come across this area since well before we weren't even a country yet.
Right. Listen, if I can at least make it to Halley's Comet, I'll be happy.
Dude, Halley's Comet would be really cool. I just really want to make it to next week sometimes. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just
Good thing to shoot for.
No. Well, I mean, I don't mean that like in a sad way. I just mean like, I know what I eat every day and I know how much beer I drink, like my health habits are not great.
It's time to turn up your dials and tune out the traffic because we're playing the Daily 5 on the Rocker Morning Show. Testing the mental magnitude of your favorite morning monkeys on the radio. And now, your hosts for the Daily 5, Meatball and Mark Frank House.
It is the Daily 5 where Mark and I ask each other questions. The other one answers. Today, I am asking the questions. Mark is answering. Mark, you got some help on the line today from Donna. Good morning, Donna. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great.
Awesome. Donna, you got to help me get 3 out of 5 questions correct. If you do, we will take the 1-0 lead for the week. If not, Meatball will take the 1-0 lead for the week.
All right. Let's get rolling. Question number 1. This could be sports and food. We'll call it that. Sports and food. What dish is traditionally served at Wimbledon every year? Is it a 5-layer cake, beans, or strawberries and cream?
Wimbledon.
Mm-hmm.
5-layer cake, beans, or
strawberries and cream.
Uh-huh. Do you watch tennis at all, Donna?
Yeah, but not the food part.
Damn. Let me
strawberries and cream.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, but if you spill strawberries on those white clothes, I mean, it just gets everywhere.
Yeah.
But Mark's not listening to me. He never does.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like strawberries and cream, Donna.
All right.
All right, yeah, let's go strawberries and cream. Final answer.
Final answer, strawberries and cream.
Wow.
You are correct.
Yay! Interesting.
I'm amazed we don't see more like strawberry stains on like the white clothes and stuff at Wimbledon.
I know, right? Yeah. Wow. All right. Nice guess, Donna.
Question number 2. This is animals. Cats have the ability to taste everything the same as humans do, except for foods that are what? Sweet, bitter, or sour?
Sweet, bitter, or sour?
Yes. Basically, which one can cats not taste?
Catnip is bitter, isn't it?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, catnip is bitter.
Did not account for that.
Trust me, don't ever. No.
Mark has first-hand experience.
No. So yeah, that would be better. So we're talking about sweet or sour. They don't have the ability to taste things that are sweet, I believe.
I agree.
Let's go sweet final answer.
Going sweet final answer. Yeah.
Wow.
Cats
Yay!
would
Back to back.
Cats would not have a good time at Wimbledon.
My cat doesn't care what it tastes like, but it wants it.
That's fair.
She will assert herself into every meal.
All right, question number 3. Man, you could run the table today, and we're gonna go with an eclipse question for number 3.
Ah, man.
During a solar eclipse, in the path of totality, the temperature will, on average, drop how many degrees? Is it 7, 10, or 15 degrees?
7, 10, or 15 degrees. Mm-hmm. And you said on average, right?
On average, uh-huh.
That's
because obviously there's extremes.
Yeah. I don't really know, I didn't even, think that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't either.
7, 10, or 15 degrees?
Correct.
Man, I don't know, Donna. This is a tricky one.
I know.
7, 10, 15 degrees.
Gotta get an answer.
You want to go low end on this one?
I was thinking low. Let's go 7.
Let's go 7, final answer.
Going 7, final answer. It is actually on average 10 degrees.
Gotcha.
With the extreme being 15 degrees.
That's crazy.
That was set about 15 years ago.
Alrighty.
All right. Moving on to question number 4. This is history and historical figures. Which U.S. president was a cheerleader in high school? Was it Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan, or George W. Bush?
George Bush.
Yeah, I think it was Bush.
Both agreeing on that one?
Yeah, Bush.
I think so.
Final answer.
Bush, final answer. That is correct.
Yay! Donna, victory. All right.
That's awesome.
Donna, you led me to victory today. You're a beauty. And for that, we are going to give you 2 VIP tickets to Macaroni and Cheese Fest. Congratulations.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you,
yeah.
Donna. Thanks for playing along with us today. Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR. It is the Rock Morning Show with Meatball.
Hey, Mark Frankhouse.
Well, Assault the Vault is back because it is week 2, Mark.
Yeah, I'm excited about this, man. A whole new thread of code numbers that will lead you to $30,000.
Pretty easy stuff. All you got to do is listen to us 8:30 to 5:30, or a little after there, just a hair. Monday through Friday. We're going to be giving you these code numbers, and all you have to do is punch them into the Rocker app in the Assault the Vault button, and boom, you could win $100 that hour, and then qualify yourself to win $30,000.
Yeah, every one of these numbers has money attached to it. So again, and again, any one of these numbers has the $30,000 attached to it.
Yeah.
So just if you win the $100 prize, you're still in the running to win that $30,000 because you never know. You could have been attached to the one that's worth that much money.
Exactly. And you could buy with $30,000.
Yes. Well, let me think what I would want to buy with $30,000.
Right. You could get 30,000 pairs of Eclipse glasses. I'm just... You would have to rush order those if you did it today.
Yeah, and then live to 2099
well, that's
in order
fair.
to,
Yeah.
It might be a wasted, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think value grows on those things over time. Like they're going to spend $30,000 on all those glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll probably be half off tomorrow.
Well, you could...
So you get more for your money.
Like Easter candy the day after
Exactly.
Easter. You could buy one pair now and then spend the other $29,999 to fly to where the next solar eclipse is.
For sure. No, listen, if you spent $30,000 on that, I'm going to slap you. Yeah, nobody's going to do that. But yeah, make sure you download the Rocker app. That's the easiest way to enter these code numbers in. Again, 8:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday, every hour, about 30 minutes past the hour. We give you those code numbers for you to assault the vault. It's all brought to you by Casey's Autoland and 107.7 RKR, The Rocker.
The Rocker Morning Show.
Mark and Nico, thank you so much.
Always honoring the gods of rock and roll.
Robert Lamb of Chicago, joining us on the Rocker Morning Show.
Keeping rock and roll alive in Southwest Michigan. Kalamazoo's rock station. 107.7 RKR.
Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR. It is the Rock Morning Show with me, Paul.
And Mark Frankhouse.
So the Eclipse today is it's going to be doing some weird things. I've seen this with other eclipses before where, like, the animals will get quiet. You won't really hear birds chirping because they think it's night, Right. So especially in areas where it's like 90% or more, like sometimes the street lights will come on because it gets dark enough. Animals will kind of act a little odd, and it'll get quiet from the birds and whatnot. But I'm a little more worried about the people.
Oh, God.
Because there are an inordinate amount of conspiracy theories going around for the eclipse this time around. Now, for just basic information, if you are trying to travel to one of the areas where it is totality from here, you should be leaving now. Because traffic the last 3 days has looked insane of people trying to get there. Standstill traffic from people trying to get to these places for the eclipse. So if you're trying to get somewhere for the eclipse today to see in totality, go now. But that is by far not even close to the strangest thing that's happening. Are you ready for some of these conspiracy theories that unfortunately we need to tell Ohio specifically not to believe in, because I think Michiganders as a whole are much smarter?
Yeah, we're going to navigate this just fine.
Okay.
Them, though, I don't know.
So, Ohio, please pay attention. 1, the solar eclipse is not going to be a mass sacrifice event.
Yet.
To our knowledge, there is no organization, religion, or even crazy cults or cabals that have claimed any kind of sacrifice event will be happening. We're not the Mayans, and also murder is illegal, so don't do that. The 2024 eclipse will cross over 8 towns called Nineveh, which has biblical context to it, and it's supposed to be a sign from God. Mm-hmm. In fact, the eclipse is going over 2 towns named Nineveh in Indiana and Ohio, and that's it. And it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. How many Springfields do you think it's going over?
Right.
Like 50. 2024 eclipse is proof that the earth is flat. No, it's not. I'm not even going to dignify that with another sentence. Now, this one I wish was true. It won't be the moon passing between the sun and earth. It's going to be an alien mothership that is in our solar system. I really wish that one were true.
Yeah. Yeah, we could go for one of those right now. Just for some of these people.
Right. The government is planning for anarchy and declared states of emergency. Yes, some cities have declared a state of emergency, but it's because their population will literally double.
Right.
For one day.
It's going to be chaos down there.
The infrastructure cannot keep up with that. A city of 2 million that suddenly has 4 million people in it.
Right.
No. They need to declare a state of emergency for the extra personnel and resources. So you don't need a hazmat suit or anything like that.
Right.
No.
This is like a Woodstock kind of situation.
Right. CERN is going to open up a portal to a different dimension or hell during the eclipse. First of all, the eclipse is happening in North America. CERN is in Switzerland. So,
oh my God.
No. And this one, there are conspiracy theorists out there telling you that they're lying to you and you should actually stare directly at the eclipse.
The meteor's getting closer and closer.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. There is actually one other conspiracy out there. NASA will be launching 3 rockets during the eclipse, and their official reasoning for this is to test the upper atmosphere readings during an eclipse event, because they want to check radiation and things like that, you know, what happens up there. However, of course, the tinfoil hat people have other things in mind. They believe the official purpose of this launch according to the conspiracies, is that it's all part of a sex magic ritual. And that is a real thing I read.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Coincidentally, there's another thing happening with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Have you heard about this? They're launching their own rockets as part of the blood sugar sex magic ritual. Like the album.
You need to give that away. Kalamazoo's Rock Station, 107.7 RKR. It's the Rocker Morning Show with Mark Frankhouse.
And Meatball.
Remember we were talking about, you know for sure, Meatball, that we were talking a couple of months ago about the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum in Wisconsin. They've been doing a lot of special bobbleheads over the years, and we reminded our audience a couple months back that they made the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League Championship bobbleheads, and they were nice enough to actually send us a couple.
Yeah, I've got one of the Kalamazoo ladies, or lassies rather, next to me. So the
Bobblehead Museum, they made these basically commemorative bobbleheads that commemorate the champions of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. Of course, Grand Rapids, I think they won twice or three times, and then the Kalamazoo Lassies was the last team to win in the league.
Reigning champions, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So they like to do certain things like this to commemorate, big things that are happening in pop culture as pertaining to sports. And I got an email from this guy, Phil, who is kind of like, he's the one who reached out about, the girls baseball league ones. And he said, hey, we've got a new one coming out on Monday. And so they announced it this morning. So if you open up the Rocker app, you can see the new one. They're commemorating Rochester Hills Oakland University head coach Craig Campy.
Oh, that's awesome.
For his run for the basketball team in March Madness this year.
That's so cool.
So there's two Coach Campy ones, and then there's their mascot Grizz, which is basically a bear. You can see some artist renderings, like I said, on the Rocker app. If you open that up and take a look, you can see kind of what they're going to look like. They look a little goofy because they're not.
It's his real. It's a photo of his head.
Yeah, but it's not. When you get it, it's not going to actually be like a goofy picture of him on plastic or something. So this is going to be a legit bobblehead, and I can confirm. We can both confirm because these bobbleheads of the Kalamazoo Lassies are awesome.
Yeah. Oh, they're fantastic.
So I'm really looking forward to this. And we talked about this. This is funny. Is Coach Campy was my younger brother's baseball coach.
Yeah.
When he was in middle school, which was really funny because I don't think he was that good of a baseball coach, but he's been the basketball coach for 40 years now.
Yeah. When he was coaching your brother, was he wearing the strange sweaters and stuff like he does when he coaches for Oakland? Have you seen those?
No, because this was mainly in the summer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I mean, you can't deny what he's done with the basketball team. He's a hell of a basketball coach, but like I said, this was years ago, and maybe the team wasn't that great,
Did you see the meme going around when Oakland was on their run, and they were like, who did they beat? What team did they beat?
Kentucky, didn't they?
Yeah. There was a meme going around. It was like, for the record, this guy just beat Kentucky. And it was photos of Coach Campy when he painted his hair pink for some event. Yeah. And he was wearing, during a game, a Christmas sweater that had the front part of a plushy reindeer on the front of it sticking out, and the back of the sweater was the back half of the reindeer sticking out of the back of the sweater. That, I want that as a bobblehead.
Right. But yeah, Coach Campy, he's a great basketball coach. There's no doubt about that. He was a nice guy too. I always loved seeing him succeed, and it's really cool. Like I said, for me, just growing up in Rochester Hills at OU, actually made this kind of a run, and that's got to feel good going into next year too, especially as much of a wild card as the college basketball season was this year. Would not be surprised for them to make a return. But again, you want to check out these bobbleheads and maybe pick yourself up one. They're set to ship, I think, in September, but they may ship a little bit earlier than that. But hey, check them out. It's up here on the Rocker app, and if you want to scope one, we got the link for that as well. But very excited, and congrats again to OU and Coach Campy. Rawr!
Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
We're talking about conspiracy theories for the Eclipse earlier. And one of the things is there's no like human ritual sacrifice that we're aware of, that's happening.
Yeah, we're sorry.
No cults or cabals or anything like that that have made plans. However, I think that's because the house they would have done that in is up for sale in Indiana.
Oh, no.
There is a mansion that went on the market in Anderson, Indiana, which is literally right in the path of totality for the Eclipse. That I swear to you, there had to be a cult or something living in this house. It's on the Rocker app. I have a photo gallery of some of the weird stuff in this house. Now, from the front, like if you look at it from the outside, it's very isolated. It's kind of out in its own thing. It's on its own 5 acres, a lot of trees around it. It's a little like plantation style house. It looks like an add-on, onto one side and stuff. It looks really nice from the outside, right? It looks like DJ Jazzy Jeff just got thrown out the front door.
I was going to say, this very much looks like the Fresh Prince house.
Right. It's got that vibe. And even when you open the front door and you go in the living room, like it's a nice looking, older mansion. It was built in like 1930 something, I think. But the deeper you go into this house, the stranger it gets. There's a long hallway with only one door at the other end that on one side of the wall has these like columns and clouds painted on it, which I would assume would signify like the long journey to the next beyond or some weird culty thing like that. And then there's the green tile room that I don't know what this is. It is a large room, like, I don't know, the size of like a bedroom or something, maybe larger. There's like a bathtub that's made out of tile in front of a large window at one end of the room. The rest of the floor is green tile, and then there's just chairs sitting around what looks like a tub.
Yeah, taking a closer look at this thing, I'm feeling like this was used to maybe baptize somebody in the...
But that's an awful small looking weird tub made out of the tile.
Maybe just dunk your head in like you're bobbing for apples.
Bobbing for apples. But right in front of that window too.
Yeah, that's another odd thing. Like there's a massive bay window. So like, what are you like?
Right up against it.
This is very odd.
What is this room? Like
that's the cult room right there.
If you were going to build a ritual sacrifice room, that's the room. And the window just happens to be facing in the direction that the eclipse is going to be. I'm just saying. There are some other pretty interesting features about this home, though. It has one bowling lane.
Yeah, that thing is weird.
It's like I'm pretty sure it was literally pulled out of like a 1930s bowling alley. No one room is like the other, and every bedroom has like these hospital-like light fixtures in them, which is very odd. There's always at least one or two steps up or down into another room.
Yeah.
Strange ante-room closet. And then there's the weird map room and secret lounge type room in the basement. This is weird, man. A cult definitely lived in this house.
I think you should personally investigate.
Like drive down there and see about it?
Yeah.
No, man. I don't think so.
I think you should.
I mean,
I think this is your destiny.
It's my destiny to own the Indiana Eclipse cult home.
Yes, I think you can start your own cult. That's all you need. You'll have one of the things knocked out.
The Eclipse
Boom.
cult. The Eclipse cult of meatball. That's not actually the moon in the sky. That's a giant meatball floating in space between Earth and the sun. The giant meaty celestial body we all need. Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR is the Rock Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
Well, one of the reasons Mark is so tired today is because he was up late, and I was up late pretty late as well. WrestleMania was last night, and the night before, I guess. It was 2 nights now.
WrestleMania 40 weekend.
The XL edition of WrestleMania. 2 nights now, which I think they started doing that last year. Is that right?
A couple of years ago, actually. they started seeing how popular Wrestle Kingdom was in Japan.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, we got to we got to get on that cash cow.
So, you know, in the wonderful world of capitalism, WrestleMania has now moved to 2 nights, which is pretty cool. I missed the first night because my folks were in town, so we were, you know, doing stuff and hanging out. So I didn't get to see much of the first night, but there was, I mean, what do you, I know some of the results, but what did you think of that?
I thought it was great. I loved seeing The Rock. The Rock's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Mm-hmm. I thought he looked pretty good, actually. He didn't look like he missed a step. The last time he was in the ring, he got really injured when he wrestled John Cena like 11 years ago or something.
Right.
But he actually looked pretty good against Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. It was really funny how this new era without Vince McMahon in the WWE is going. And they've literally called it like the Paul Levesque era.
Yeah.
Paul Levesque, of course, being the actual name of Triple H. Mm-hmm. And they're embracing it, man. And I'm excited because I can't stand Vince McMahon. I think he's a horrible person.
Well, he's responsible for some of the worst storylines to ever happen in wrestling. But like, Stephanie McMahon like opened last night by coming out and saying, you know, it's the beginning of the Paul Levesque era, right?
Exactly.
And they're still married, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's one of those things where it's like Triple H is so good. And again, if a lot of people, you know, they just kind of watch, you know, the WWE. WWE has the NXT, which is like the up and comers kind of portion of the WWE, and it's so good. And it was all because of Triple H. It was so good at a time where I was not a fan of WWE.
And you could tell when Vince started sticking his hand into stuff, because it was just like, what, this storyline was going great. What did you do?
Right. And again, I think it's time that he moved aside. Triple H took over, and it was great. I love seeing The Rock. I love how R-rated he was.
Yeah.
And how the guy who was doing their dump button was just so overworked.
Sitting on it last night.
Because they were all on the outside, and one of my favorite parts is like they're all on the outside of the ring, and the ref starts counting. And The Rock looks at him. He's like, you don't start counting. He's like, you know, The Rock. He's like, I don't F around. You count, you're fired.
Yeah.
The Rock is on the board of
WWE.
Yeah. He's what is it now? Because it's UFC, WWE, and another thing as well. Yeah. So it's all combined now. But The Rock has obviously interest in the company. He's on the board. So that dynamic right there is hilarious.
Yeah. And then last night, the main event, which I have very passively been watching wrestling, for the last couple of years. Like I keep up with some of the storylines and stuff, you know, but I've not been a religious watcher of it. But I did know what the main event was last night. As a casual fan who was a big fan in like the mid to late 2000s, I marked out so many times during that last match. The Shield music caught me, even though that turned out to be pointless. If you have not seen, if you're waiting to watch this, by the way, and you're trying to avoid results and stuff, like spoilers for that, I know some people tape it and watch it later or whatever. Yeah. But John Cena was awesome. The Undertaker, I literally screamed at my computer when that happened. And then finally, the story is finished with Cody Rhodes. Yeah. I love that moment.
It's going to be an exciting future for WWE. I'm genuinely interested where they go from here. Because Triple H knows what he's doing. I think WWE is going to be more exciting. It's going to be more accessible now because starting 2025, they're going to be streaming Monday Night Raw, and I don't know if SmackDown, but Raw
for sure
is going to be on Netflix. Yeah. So all that is up on the Rocker app for you guys to scope into. And, check it out, man. If you haven't watched WrestleMania, good things are ahead. I'm actually excited to become a wrestling fan again.
I do know one thing that's going to happen in the future. John Cena is probably going to buy him a box of Just for Men for his head, because there's a reason John Cena wears a ball cap a lot more often nowadays. That was rough. That was seeing somebody I loved, you know, as a younger person, and that big old bald spot in the back of his head, man. I was just like, oh,
here we go, brother.